Show. I'm here with my special guest, Carolyn from Cleveland, and she's making all that noise when she's cooking. But there ain't nothing wrong with cooking for your kids. What's up, girl?
What's up? What's up?
Sound
Yeah,
like,
cooking for the children.
yo, they're fricasseeing. What you fricasseeing?
I made some pot roast, some rice and gravy, and some broccoli with cheese.
She
That was the
said,
request for the evening.
she said pot.
Yes, pot.
Some pot.
Pot.
Some pot roast.
Uh-huh.
No, so everything
If
going
it,
on. How's everything going in Cleveland?
good, good. Just dealing with the weather, dealing with all the snow.
Still dealing with that snow, huh?
Miles and miles of snow.
Miles and miles of snow. You know, I was talking earlier before we came on air, and that one of some of the people we grew up with passed away, and didn't even know about him. And I was going to tell some stories about him because I still think God rest his soul, still think the story need to be told. But I want to tell the story about the barbecue.
Yes,
The
the
barbecue.
barbecue.
So people who know me, they'll probably know who this is. Whoever's been there, they know what I'm talking about. So one day we were all in this backyard of one of the I can't even say close friend, but somebody I should be cool with. We'll put it like that. And we were all back there drinking, we cooking and stuff. So the person had this uncle just used to get toe out the frame. I mean, toe out the frame. So it was me, Carolyn, and a couple of other people, my sister. And we back there, we singing and we talking. So he comes out and he say, so we just look at him like, what the fuck is he talking about? Next thing you know, you see him tripping. You say, he face first on the grill. The first thing I yell is what, Carolyn?
I smell human meat. I smell human meat. Yeah,
he
Cricket didn't even see if he was okay.
just got up and just walked back
She
in the
just,
house.
uh-huh.
He walked back in the house. We like, what the happened? And his
Right.
face, I mean, it was sizzling.
Still, and he got up still talking mess.
Still talking.
Still talking.
So yeah,
Didn't miss a beat on it.
yeah,
Didn't
he
miss a beat.
did admit that motherfucker. That dude used to get toe out the frame. I mean, y'all gotta forgive my language. They gonna be probably out of line. This one might get me cut off for this episode, but we're gonna be open. But yeah, he used to get toe out the frame. Um, he used to be a pimp back in the day, and I not say this without saying too much. He was a pimp back in the day. That he was still pimping, even though he didn't have like street whores. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Right.
I was with him a few times where he would just go to some girl's house and we sitting over there chilling, and I'm wondering what we waiting on here for, and she come home from work and just giving us her whole check, and I'm like, "This your girl? Nah."
No, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm thinking like, what's going on? But that's how much game he got. So I don't know if nobody hustle, but I'm like, I'm still trying to figure it
Yeah.
out. When I had to get married to start getting people's checks. Uh, Shit, I couldn't pimp. My pimping game wasn't strong, and I gotta be polite when I ask for it. Look, can I please?
Uh-huh.
How much money,
Hey,
please?
can I please have $20? Just 20. Please. And thank you. You got your hands folded
Yeah,
up
yeah.
together.
You just said that my hands is doing the exact same thing. I'm saying, please,
Uh-huh. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. It's something.
yeah, looking like a slave. Oh, we got
Uh-huh.
some
Yeah.
bills to pay.
Right. Shoot.
But yeah, he was a good guy. God rest his soul. He did some car work for me. You know, a lot of his people, his family, was different. As Carolyn, we know his family was different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
One of his sons was one of the biggest rollers in Cleveland back in his era, and I mean, I think that's what dealing with him was like the first time I ever seen like $750,000 in cash at one time. And what's crazy is, we sitting there just chilling. Like you see these movies where it's like the basement and a light and this table, and just that's how it was. And Next thing you
Yeah, it
know,
was real. Yeah.
yeah, dude was like, so we're gonna do such and such. And I'm sitting over there chilling, like, because I don't know what's going on at the time. And the dude popped the ceiling, start dropping money out. Bloop, 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 bloop. All right, we need to get this, this, this. And I'm like, what the? So yeah, so I learned a lot and seen a lot dealing with them people.
Yeah, you did. Gotta take everything as a lesson. Take
Facts.
everything as a lesson.
So,
Mm-hmm.
well,
Know what not to do.
yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful. Can I say that about the relationship that you had with this former close friend of mine?
Uh huh.
Can I talk about it and say? But I'm not gonna say names, but I want to mention that y'all had a relationship and had a kid out this relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it okay? I'll just before I go
Yes.
forward.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Okay.
So before before Carolyn and his former close friend got together, we used to be real cool and I should be supportive. Like if anybody know me, I'm supportive. I want everybody to do well, succeed. So I used to be so supportive of this dude, everything he did. Because like we said, we was friends. Well, as we got older, I started to see things change. So first, this person was like one of the only people that had a car. He dressed very very dapper. He was cool dude. Like I said, he was very popular. I was all right, but he was, everybody knew this person. So anyway, as we grew up, um, started getting my own. I started developing my own style and all that. So I'm only saying this because I want to talk about when I first got my first car. And when he got his car, I was excited about it. But when I got mine, he was he was disappointed that I had a fucking car. And so,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of threw me off. So, like I said, I'm still friends. But then, so he got something better. So then I upgraded. So when I upgraded, I got a Eddie Bauer, 1992 Eddie Bauer Explorer, fully loaded.
Yeah, I remember that.
You
I
remember
remember
that?
that.
And
Yep,
I
I
was,
remember that.
and he had another family member that I'm still cool with. He got just broke with a new car, and we were cool too. So when he called me like, "Kale, I just got I just got the Cadillac, such such." I was like, "Oh, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you." I said, "Man, I just broke with the Explorer." He said, "All right, let's meet up at this family member's house, and we gonna go over and kick it with it." So we both roll up on it. I see homeboy with his caddy. I love him. Oh, I'm happy for him. Dapping him. He see the truck. Oh, Kale, you got it. My close friend comes out, looked at both our rides. It's like, well, you could have bought such and such a car if you wanted that. And
Right.
well, where did the happiness at? And then he would acknowledge that I had a truck. So I'm like, like things like he comes like, hell, I'm happy for it, but he was not happy for me. But I noticed that he wasn't wasn't happy for me. So as time progressed, you start seeing as you get older and everybody notice we all start growing apart. Some of us. So they had Carolyn and this person had a relationship, and they this is like in between where they were having issue where he just was somebody else. And she started seeing it that she even broke it off with him, because
Mm-hmm.
he had changed. But then we gonna move forward a little bit. So I got married the first time, stupidest shit I ever done. But then I got married the second time, and he knew the person knew my wife Sabrina because we all worked together. So I'm happy. I ain't seen him in a while. Everything that was in the past in the past. Carolyn that moved on. Everybody that moved on. So
Everybody moved on.
so I go over there to chill with him. I ain't got nothing special. I'm just Kale now. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy with my life. I'm happy that I'm doing well. So I roll up. I say, hey, what's up? Such. His father's out there. He greet his father. Hey, Kale, what's going on? So I tell him, hey, I got you, man. I got married to Sabrina, man. Yeah, we it took a while, but we figured it out. And so I say, so man, when we gonna hang out? This dude looked me dead in my face and said, I hang with a different class of people.
And that's a slap in the face.
Yeah.
You know, when somebody say that to you, especially when everybody doing good.
Yeah.
What class of people you with?
Yeah, exactly. So, but I looked him in his face, Carolyn, and just looked at him. Then I looked at his father. His father looked at me, shook his head, and put his head down because he knew his son was wrong. And I was like, okay. And that was the last time I talked to homeboy. Well, I haven't seen him since, and I'm like I said, wishing I hear things about him. I wish him the best. I hope everything's going away. But my point of the story of this story is when we all grow up and we all grow in different directions, and some of us fall apart, some of us come together. But always be happy for somebody when they're doing good. Why you gotta be negative? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, you see somebody pat them on the back, and make them feel good about what they did, because we could be doing worse things. You know what I'm saying? You could be saying, yeah, such and such is in rehab again for such and such and such. Going back to those class of people, when this
Yeah.
person
You
told,
know,
hold
I
on,
was
let me.
going not to cut you off, but I was gonna tell you, you know, when you had that type of haterism in your heart for people that you can't be happy for them, you will always be miserable. A person like that is always miserable. And we as a people we gotta overcome that right there. Because you'll be miserable the rest of your life hating because somebody else got something good instead of congratulating them. Because
Congrats.
everybody has a time and everybody time comes and goes. You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly. Always be happy for him. But back a little bit, but before we move on, but he said, like I said, he had a different class of people. So me playing back the class of people he was hanging around with was a bunch of dope fiends that he was hanging with. And I'm like, so I don't know, was that a compliment or was he telling me he don't that he thought he was less than me now? So I gotta take it as I'm gonna take it as he didn't want me to be in his lifestyle because he's on a different lifestyle, and I just wish him
Right, right.
and wish him the best and hope he's doing well and moving forward. But let's move on. So yeah, but like we just said, always be happy for anybody who doing well. You know what I'm saying? I gotta write that down before I even go on. Tell me a story. Give me a story about somebody. Give me any story you want to tell me, Carolyn, about somebody who just don't didn't. It's not happy for you when you're doing well.
Let's see. What is a prime? You know, it's so many examples. It don't even have to be the people close to you. You can see the people in your workplace, and
Oh, tell
you
him.
can tell in your workplace
Tell
when
him.
when they not happy for you because you're all there to do one job and you're all there to work as a team. And when you have people that start being fearful that you're gonna outshine them. It's not that you're gonna outshine them. It's that they're not doing what they're supposed to do. So now they want to bring you down and say how you're not doing the job that you need to do. You're not covering the areas you need to cover. When in fact you've been carrying the load for everybody because you try to be this team player and you want, oh, we just got to succeed. We need to come off on top. But in the workplace, it's real hectic in the workplace with that.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you because I did the same thing. I'm missing out. I haven't been pro. I've been interviewed for a job 30 times and I haven't got it. And what's crazy is I still do the job, but I don't have the position. So
Hmm.
my heart. Okay, let me just put it like my heart. My mind tell me kill, do less, but I can't do less because it's not. I'm
Nope.
not built. I'm not built like that. So I still do 100%. So and people don't and what people don't see is that's over us or sometimes putting negative stuff in the air about us, even though we the one that's holding everything together. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Holding it together.
And instead of trying to compliment us or saying thank you, they got something negative to say or they try to find they you can do. This didn't happen to me. I can do everything right and miss the smallest detail. Instead of saying, "Hey, you did a great job. Hey, you might want to work on this," they will say, "You missed such and such," and that's it. They forgot
And that's it.
about
Yep.
they forgot about all the other stuff that I did. So all the stuff that I did accomplish, but I missed this one little small thing that didn't even matter. It didn't even had nothing to do with work. It's just because they don't want to. They don't. And I don't know if you agree with me, but they don't want to see you shine. They want to see you down. You know.
They want to see you down. Because you got to remember, we still got people that's out here in the workforce that will stake claim on your good, on your hard work. You know, you can sit there
Yes.
as a team and brainstorm. I've
Yep.
seen it happen over and over again. I could be in a meeting and go over some stuff, and we'll sit in the meeting with the big wig, and then we going over, and I'm like, hey, that's what I told you. But before, when I
Oh,
told you, let's put it in, let's go ahead and put this in perspective and let's try this out, you shot it down. But now you sitting here, you just said the same thing I already told you. And believe it or not, though, a lot of times they know when somebody is taking somebody else's idea. They can tell if it's your idea or not because when they ask you to elaborate on it and you can't give them exact detail on how things should be executed, they know you got it from somebody else.
or
But I've had that happen to me several times.
yeah. That's, to me, it's didn't happen to the point that because when I say it, they don't hear me, so I tell somebody else the idea, and they go say it, and my supervisor would say that's a great idea, but when I said it, they didn't want to hear it. But
Nope,
soon,
didn't want to hear.
but when somebody else said it, oh, that's great. Not knowing that I just told them to do that, to told them that idea. I done that more, like I said, more than 10, 20 times to the point
Mm-hmm.
to the point that I'll give you for instance on one what I do where I work at. I deal with the public a lot, and we shut down roads. So one particular time we had to shut down the road for New Year's, and where I work at, we have what you call standby, which is when you work on time. That's when nobody's available. You go work and go in. So we're getting ready to shut down. We just shut down, and we're at the end of the shift for the New Year's um, celebration. And so now after so at the end of that day, that means whatever happens after New Year's is for the standby people. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
supervisor tell me like we're about to go. I said we're about to go home. Tell me, hey, you need to go back out here and get a such and such a sign. I was like, okay, well, such and such on standby. Maybe they want to go get the sign. No, you go out there and get it. So it happily, hate to say race, but a white boy said, yeah, supervisor, he is on standby. Maybe he do want the time. You know what that is? That's what the supervisor said after the white boy said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make it about
Mm-hmm.
race, but my situation eventually I'm gonna tell more but I'm trying not to put names in it. But my supervisor will listen to what the my supervisor's black. Let's put it like. Let me tell you that my supervisor black. The person that like I said just said it was white, and they listened to what the white person said. So it seemed so. I done told my supervisor about things that's been damaged for years. Hasn't been done. But the new guy is it, and the supervisor say, "Hey, we got to hurry up and get this fixed." And I stand there dumbfounded and try to bite my tongue. It's like, didn't I tell you this 3 years ago? But now it's urgency because he said it. So
Mm-hmm.
so I feel disrespected, but I can't say nothing because before I used to react, and we all got we all got that button that people push, and there's the hood come out of it, and the hood was
Right.
coming.
Right.
That the button had been pushed so much that the hood was coming at me every time I talked. So I had to
Mm-hmm.
dial. So I had to dial it back to like, you know what? I can't let this be me. So now it's like when I hear stuff that I know that I made suggestions about be repeated to me and said somebody was somebody else's idea. It it hurts because not it don't not hurt. It's an insult
It's an insult. Yes, that's what it is.
because I said this already, but now what you weren't listening to me, but because this person said it, now you're listening to it. So yeah, uh,
Yeah, and a lot of times we gotta sit back and regroup so we can come about it in a positive way. Because the minute you get upset all the time, like you said, you don't want to bring race into it, but You that angry black person. If you
Huh?
speak up and say, "Hey, this is not fair. This is that and this," yada yada yada, you can just have a listing of things like this is why this is happening here, 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 here. But then you label it as that angry black person, where
Exactly.
you have to sit down and methodically think about it and
You know,
present it in a way. And then when they hear it in that manner, they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah. You know what? That wasn't right." But like I said, at the end of the day, when it comes time, when you steal an idea from somebody, and it comes time for you to go
present
over
it.
that idea in great detail,
Mm-hmm.
you can't explain it.
Can't
You
explain it.
can't even tell me how it works.
Mm-hmm. And, and,
You
and,
can't tell me how it works.
and I know. So people, I know y'all going through the same thing. So it's a messed up that we gotta strategize how we talk because, like you said, we be labeled as angry blacks, or
Mm-hmm.
they always using the race card. It ain't.
Yep.
It's not. It's not always using the race card. But sometimes, if you look at it, if you see it from my eyes and what I'm saying, it seems like it's nothing but it's a racial issue. You know, because you're not doing it to everybody. If you're doing it to everybody, then it's not a race. But when like I said, we say something, I gotta go to thorough detail, or I gotta dumb down, or I gotta lower my tone, or I gotta basically be laying down on the ground to tell you something where you don't feel like I'm coming off angry. But others can come and just say what they want to say, and any kind of way they want to say it, and you accept it and go with it. If you understand what I'm saying,
Yep. Exactly that.
you
Yep.
understand. So
Yep.
so as people, black or white, Chinese, Latino, anything, we should be able to talk without seeing race, but it's kind of hard, especially for any minority, especially when I say I'm trying not because I'm not. I don't want to be too political and no too radical, too racist. I'm not trying to be none of that because I'm none of that. I love everybody. I got so many different friends, but when it's messed up when you just can't talk. You can, or this thing. Sometimes I have to speak proper English. I can't speak our hood dialogue sometime or dialect sometime. Or sometimes I'll say something that's can go either way of when the conversation is. Instead of this is for anybody. Instead of accepting the negative and the word that start coming out of some people's mouth, sometimes it's best to say, "What do you mean?" And that's where my show is called. What do you mean?
Yep.
Explain.
Yeah. Explain.
Make
Yeah.
me make me understand. What do you mean? Make me understand. And so this is why I call my show that, because sometimes the words are not what you think they are. Like texting. You know how people text? Do you know how many bad uh, conversations that came off of text because it was read the way somebody felt it should have been read, but wasn't intended that way?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Starts a whole lot of drama too. Starts a whole lot of drama in the workplace and at home.
Exactly. So instead of if you don't understand, this is just go for everybody. Keep talking. Cause I try to when I feel I look at people's I read body language and people don't even know. Some people see that I do it, other people don't see that I do it. So I can read body language on when they're bullshitting me, when they're serious, or when they feel uncomfortable around me.
Mm-hmm.
Because because I'm looking at everything you're doing and how you present it to me. It's like poker. You got tail signs. Everybody has a tail sign. There's something wrong. Okay. But if I feel that somebody's not understanding what I'm saying, I try to elaborate and I keep asking, do you understand? If they keep saying, yeah, and you got that look like, no, I'll say it a different way. That's called
Exactly.
communication. Communication is key. But ask questions, keep asking questions till you understand, till you both say, this one is one instead of one, maybe one and a half. No, one is one. When we're both saying the same thing, then you really understand. Got to
Yep.
just
Then you
take
had good. Yep. Had good dialogue with each other.
dialogue. That goes for marriages, work relationship, friendships, all that. How long? How? I bet you can't tell me how long we've been knowing each other. I bet you I can tell you though.
Yeah, I don't think I can tell you. I would tell you it's been a long time. I can't be exact. I'll tell you
And
that.
I can tell you exactly how long we've been knowing each other. 47 years.
Yeah, you're
All
right.
our That's over all our life. That's all. That's like our entire lives. I know
Mm-hmm.
her brothers. I know them all their life. they know.
Right.
They know.
Exactly.
They know me all their life.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, we don't. Me and Carolyn have been through our ups and downs, but we still together. Because we still cool because that's what we do. We communicate. Sometimes you gotta go. Everybody go. They separate, but when we come back together, it's still family.
Yeah, still got yeah, still family.
You
You
still got.
gotta communicate.
You gotta communicate. Um, yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. Somebody's gonna call me in the middle of the show. I'm gonna have to hang up on him. Yeah. So, so people try to work it out. Try to do better. Supervisor, try to be more understanding. Try to utilize your people. When I say utilize your people, just don't look at because they're your friends and they close to you. They come over your house, they kick it with you. Because I think that's the problem I think I have in a situation I'm dealing with is that some of the people only one or two people are close to the supervisor. I'm not really close to them, but I'm cool with them and I got their best interest in. But I don't go over their house. I don't do all that because I just don't.
Right.
I just don't because I just don't. Not that I got nothing against them. I just don't.
And let me tell you, everybody can't handle that type of relationship.
Yeah, the friend that
Everybody cannot handle it. Mm-hmm.
friendship and work relationship exactly. And I see. And here's the thing about that. I see that with the person that's closer to the supervisor because they expect the supervisor to still be their friend when the supervisor got to do the supervisor job. But
Exactly.
when they do the job now, they say, "Oh, they treat me such and such way. They treat me like they treat you." No, they not. They still you still going to their house tomorrow. I'm not.
Right.
You know.
You gotta be able to separate the two. And if you
So,
call yourself a friend and you're supposed to be friend or family, whatever you are, you got to know that you got to let that supervisor do their job. They still got to supervise. They still got to tell you when you're wrong. If don't nobody tell you you're wrong, you always gonna think you're right.
you're right. Exactly. Exactly.
That's when mistakes happen.
And 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 I'm gonna give you, before we get out of here because I got to cut this one a little short. When I was running my show up in Cleveland, all the people underneath was my friends. But I told them, you know, it's just I got to do what the job tell me to do. So don't expect no extra special treatment, nothing like that. I got to just do what they tell me to do. So don't take it out of me. I'm just doing my job. And everybody out I was cool with that. Was underneath me respected that. That to the point that when we were out, they would call me their boss, and I would get mad because like, no, I'm not your boss now. Now I'm your boy. We cool.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
that job is over with. You could talk to me as crazy as you want to now, but just don't disrespect me on the job because that's a different situation. And some people don't understand that and can't divide that.
Exactly.
That being said, I hate to cut it short, but I got to make this phone call. Carolyn, I appreciate you coming and talking to me. I hope for to have you on again.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, anytime, anytime.
uh, you got anything you want to say to the people before we go?
Ah, I don't think I do. I think we just said so much. I think we done left everything out there on the table.
Leave me some. Give me a positive. Leave me with a positive saying. Before I say my positive stolen statement. Yeah, because what I'm about to say is stolen. So go ahead.
Right,
You
right,
got you
right.
got, you got
You
some.
know, we gotta as a people we gotta do better. We gotta learn how to stand together as a people and watch everybody prosper and be happy when everybody prospers, so that everybody can sit at the table and eat in one accord
Yep,
and
I
not sit around and you know throw daggers at each other just because somebody's doing better than the next.
agree. I agree. And also realize sometimes I might not like you, but I don't mean I don't want you to eat. I just don't want you to eat at my table. I know you've heard that
Exactly.
before. I want you to still
Hmm.
eat, but I just maybe because we don't get along, I still want you to eat, but I just maybe don't want you to eat at my table. But I'm not gonna
Don't
stop
want
your
you eating at my table.
but I'm not gonna stop your bread. Always remember that.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
so let's get out of here. Earthquake. I know we ain't met yet, but we gonna meet one day. As Earthquake would always say, put God first, everything else will follow. Hit that subscribe button. Leave comments down at the bottom. If you got any ideas, hit me up. If you want to be on the show just to kick it with me, if you got something you want to talk about, hit me with an email at KingPrince1592 at gmail.com. And I'll see you next time. We're out of here.
All right, bye.
Bye.